Hi, Kate. You're taking us back to our top story this evening, the ongoing visit of the US president to China and the first major business deal being announced already.
Yeah, China is going to be buying 200 aircraft from Boeing, Sharon. That is according to the US president, who was speaking to Fox News about his meeting with Chinese counterpart Xi Jinping. Trump told Sean Hannity that Xi had agreed to order, quote, 200 big ones. That's a lot of jobs, he said. Boeing wanted 150. He got 200. Trump went on to describe it as a statement, but I think it was a commitment. No further details for now, and no confirmation from either Boeing or Beijing. But if confirmed, it will be Boeing's first major sale in China in a decade. Earlier, the U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent told CNBC to also expect purchases of energy and agricultural goods. Bessent would not confirm a report by Reuters, which said that Washington had cleared sales of NVIDIA H200 AI chips to about 10 Chinese tech companies. It would be a huge turnaround for the chip maker, which has been restricted from exporting to China because of security concerns. NVIDIA's CEO, Jensen Huang, was a late addition to a group of executives from Wall Street and Silicon Valley who are attending these high-level meetings in Beijing. Chinese state media reports that Xi Jinping told Donald Trump the country would open up more to American firms. The business leaders themselves then met with the Premier Li Qiang, who had a similar message.
The healthy development of U.S.-China relations requires not only the two governments to meet each other halfway, but also concerted efforts from all sectors of society. Everyone here today is an outstanding representative of the American business community, and I know many of you personally.
Let's check in on the day's trading action now. US WTI and the international benchmark Brent crude still trading over $100 a barrel. The White House saying that Xi Jinping expressed interest in buying American oil, although the Chinese readout of that meeting did not mention any such purchase. The major European indices closed higher, around 1 percentage point in each Paris and Frankfurt, less in London as the UK faces fresh uncertainty over its political leadership. The British pound and yields on UK government bonds falling this Thursday. Gains on Wall Street as well. We saw the Dow Jones climbing back above 50,000. Tech firms pushed trade. NVIDIA shares rose about 4% as those talks in China continue. Software giant Cisco up 14% on strong quarterly results. Cuba has run out of fuel and diesel after 5 months of a U.S. blockade. A shipment of Russian crude oil in April has already run dry, and the country is plunging deeper into an energy crisis and rolling blackouts. Cuba says it's now considering a renewed offer of aid from the United States, which is likely to come with significant strings attached. Luke Schrago reports.
With Cuba's blackouts now lasting for up to 2 days at a time, leaving entire swathes of the Caribbean island in the dark, previously rare protests are starting to gain traction in Havana.
We have gone more than 40 hours without electricity. I live in a community where there are many elderly people, many of them bedridden. There are many children. Food is going bad inside the fridges.
Pressuring the Cuban government to give up power, the United States enacted an oil embargo in January, threatening any nation supplying fuel to Havana with tariffs. And there's little relief in sight for ordinary Cubans, with oil reserves finally running dry.
Our country had not received any fuel since December, until Russia sent a vessel carrying a donation of 100,000 tons of oil last month. We are already in May. Summer is here. Temperatures are getting hotter, and those 100,000 tons of oil are finished.
Decades of mismanagement and lack of investment have left Cuban energy infrastructure in shambles and domestic production unable to meet demand. Washington has been dangling $100 million in aid in return for cooperation, an offer Havana may now be entertaining.
Taking into account the incongruity of the apparent generosity from the party that subjects the Cuban people to collective punishment through economic warfare, the Cuban government does not have a practice of rejecting foreign aid that is offered in good faith. We are willing to hear the details of the offer.
Any aid making its way into Cuba would be distributed by the Catholic Church, bypassing the beleaguered